What's up, guys? We're the Supernaturals. We're your hosts, Jake and Cal.
What's up, guys? Wow, I can't speak. I can't speak. Jeez,
right.
my tongue is tall-tied.
Tall Tide.
All tied. Something like that.
Episode 2 jitters, everybody.
No, not at all. I just can't speak.
It's fine, dude. Everybody can't speak sometimes, you know? It's just how it
I'm
goes.
just a human, man.
Yeah, no, I fully get it. So today, we're going to be talking about one of our most anticipated horror movies. And for me, ever. For Jake, probably just for the summer. Unless ever. Is it ever?
Is it?
Is it?
I don't know.
Longlegs.
I don't know.
Releasing, I think, July 12th.
I don't know, but the official trailer just dropped today.
Literally just got done watching the official trailer. So if you guys know anything about Longlegs, it's this upcoming movie by Neon, which, you know, we like. Neon is
Neon's
up
been
and-
putting
they're-
some good
they're up
movies
and
out. They've been
they're-
putting some good movies out.
They've been putting out some good stuff. And basically, we just want to talk about it.
That's it. That's the whole episode. Just Longlegs. Just kidding.
No, we want to.
We're going to deep dive quite a few movies today, I think.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing that Longlegs has done that is why we want to have an episode about it is the marketing for the movie is so unique, and it's unlike anything that we've seen from horror movies, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
So they started. Well, Jake, tell them the story about when we went to go see that. First of all, that dog shit ass movie, Night Swim.
Oh, yeah. we covered Night Swim last episode, but
Yeah.
we went to see it in the theaters, and Cal had gotten up to go to the bathroom. Like you do when you right before the movie, so you don't have to
Yep.
go
During
during
the
it. Because like,
trailers.
fuck going during the movie, it sucks.
Exactly.
You miss a lot of shit.
I don't do that.
But anyway, so he gets up, goes, and all of a sudden I just see this wild symbols. Why? God damn, fucking cutting that.
Take a breath.
I can't
Reset.
speak. Jesus. Let's try that again.
Uh-huh.
So, Cal gets up, goes to the bathroom, and all of a sudden the screen blackens. And I see all these symbols come up on the screen, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And all of a sudden they start playing this like 30-second long trailer, and all of a sudden at the end it just says Longlegs, and I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? And we've seen some crazy trailers before.
Yeah.
But this was like nothing I've ever seen before, and I was just so blown away. I text Cal immediately. I'm like, dude, you missed one of the best trailers fucking I've ever seen in the entire
message I
movie.
got. I was literally leaving the bathroom. I'm just like, I look at my phone and I see from Jake, and it goes Longlegs, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Oh yeah, that's because I was trying to remember the trailer, because we did have one time where we were watching a movie trailer
Yes.
and we forgot the title.
Yes.
And
yes.
we couldn't find it for probably 4 or 5 months.
That was so frustrating. We went to go see Terrifier 2, which, you know, is one of my favorites. And there was it was one of those trailers that it shows all this crazy shit happening and you have no idea what's going on. And we just forgot what the title was. I mean, it was right before Terrifier 2 started. So we were like, what the fuck is it? Then Jake goes, oh yeah, I think I had a dream one time.
Oh god.
I wake up in the morning and he's like, bro, I think I know what it is. And I'm like, what is it? And he goes, well, I had a dream about it. He said, I think it was called like the cages dipped in blood. I'm like, I don't think that was it.
Though.
The movie was titled The Outwaters, everybody.
I'm telling you, it was so vivid. I thought I had it. I really did. I really did.
Oh man. Anyway, so Longlegs. That first trailer was just a bunch of creepy ass scenes, because I remember when I didn't see it until after trash ass Night Swim, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Jake told me to look this up, so I looked it up, and the trailer wasn't titled Longlegs. It was something else. It's just like some random word, it was
Longlegs.
no, but the thumbnail was like a picture of like a family, like a creepy, like grainy picture of a family, and it had like the title wasn't Longlegs trailer. It was like something else. Like one of their trailers is called "You Have the Teeth of the Hydra Upon You." Like when you're just looking up like Longlegs, like that pops up and you're like, what the fuck?
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's something is like they weren't even showing what the title of the trailer was until like the fourth little 20-second teaser that they've had. And it's just all this creepy. The only thing we knew about it was I had the girl from It Follows.
Yep.
And then it had Nicolas Cage.
Right. And then the rest of what you saw was just random symbols scattered across the screen and scenes that made no sense and did not correlate to anything.
Yep. And even after today's full trailer that we got, we still haven't seen Nicolas Cage.
Unanswered questions.
Yeah. We have no idea what the hell the movie is about. There's probably like 7 trailers out.
I think in one of them, I think you do see him in it.
I don't think you see him. I think it's all just like it's just his voice. Like you definitely hear him, especially in the new one, the one that came out today. Oh my god. Yeah, Nicolas Cage, man. He's what a comeback. Oh man. But yeah, so the thing about Longlegs is like the marketing for it. Like all these little teasers and all this kind of stuff. Have you seen their posters?
I actually haven't.
So their posters are little screenshots of like things in the trailer that we have seen. They're just little screenshots. And
Is one of them the fucking like ghost lady?
It's not the ghost lady. I don't know if you saw in the last trailer, but there's like some lady in like a bra and she's like leaned back with like a knife on her stomach and her like mouth is like open. That's like one of the things, like one of the posters. And when Neon posted the poster, like all these little posters, there's another one with like a little kid or something. And it has like this cryptic, like, Sarah, daughter, age 8, like she celebrated her birthday. It was a good day. And like, that's it.
So it's like a journal entry or something?
I don't know. Kind of. I mean, the one with the family, I think there was like a family photo or something. Maybe it was the one with the lady, but it was like mother of 2 or something. And then it was like husband or daddy didn't like it or something. And that I don't know. It was fucking freaky, dude.
Dude, honestly, without reading the like synopsis of this, I would have no clue what this movie would be about.
Yeah.
Like at all.
But that's what I think that most horror movies nowadays you don't do. I mean,
right. They're showing too much.
It's unfortunate to say, but The Strangers, again, from the last episode, we said we didn't see it. Still haven't seen it. And I don't know if we will soon.
We will at some point.
Yeah, but I think it's the trailer. We saw the whole damn movie.
Right.
You see
them stalk them, break in.
Yep.
And trying to attack them.
And then fight. And then it's like they get kidnapped. And then, I don't know, it shows them fighting at the end. And then, like, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that basically the one from 2008?
That's like all of The Strangers so far.
And
I'm sure it'll be the future ones.
I'm pretty sure they recorded, or not recorded, but shot all of them, right? Already?
They shot the first 2.
Okay.
I think it's a planned trilogy, but they shot the first 2 back to back. So the first one and then the next one that's supposed to come out like next year. So I don't know, but they shot them back to back because I think it saves money. But they also were expecting this one to be kind of a big hit. Dude, so far, I don't know if
this franchise had such a good opportunity to be so scary.
I agree.
Like, because it did freak people out in the first one, and then they had a really good sequel. They really did.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who didn't like the second one, but I think the hate for this one is gonna make people appreciate what they try to do with the second one. If that makes sense. The kind of like 80s vibe to it. Like, the trailer park setting is pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
The kills were good. I don't know. I think, yeah, it was different from the first one that came out. I
think you follow. What am I trying to say here? Fall in love with the characters more in the second one than you do the first, because it's just some couple. In the second one, I believe it's a family.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the mom and her 2 kids or something like that.
No, it's a mom, dad, and 2 kids, and
There is a dad? I didn't know if there was.
Yeah, there's a dad, and I
Couldn't
think
remember.
they go to the trailer park to like visit their uncle or something, or their grandparents, and then you see the grandparents get absolutely fucked up. I think, or one of the couples in the trailer park definitely get mobbed for sure. But yeah, no, there was that whole scene in the swimming pool where the son like dies, but it was like they had all these cool lights around the pool, and they had some like music playing, and that was a cool scene. But yeah, back to the point though, like these horror movies, they show too much in the trailer, and I think that shows they don't really trust their product. You know, I think like if you have to sell it like too much, like we just kind of are like, okay, well we saw
I'm
it
also
all,
curious
you know?
on if they write and direct the movie, right? Or who someone writes it, whatever.
Yep.
And they shoot all of it, and then they're like, this is the final product. We don't have the budget to reshoot anything, and we just got to put out what we have that's the best edited version of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do feel like they do that.
Well, I mean, the studio definitely. That's why we like A24 and recently Neon. It's because they actually give the directors like creative freedom as opposed to these other studios like I'm gonna name drop Warner Brothers. they have these demands, you know, and they chop up these movies and they make them just so shit. Fucking Sony, dude.
So Zach.
Well, look, you just watched Madam Web, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was just completely chopped up, though. I mean, I did you notice the bad guy? Like almost every scene, his words didn't line up with like his mouth.
I didn't notice that because I was on my phone halfway through the movie.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah, but he totally was. He'd be like, he'd be saying like, "Oh, I have to get them" or something, but his mouth would be like, you know, it's like, bro, that's not what you said.
Was voicing over himself.
Yeah, so obviously,
Terrible.
you know, there are horror movies that are under big studios like that, and they do get chopped up, and that's why. But I don't know, man. I think like The Strangers, they had an idea with the first one, and they're like, let's try to revive it and do the exact same thing as the first one, like that came out in 2008, and it just failed.
You know, I am for revivals.
Yeah.
But please, please, if you're going to do it, either take a new take on it or live up to the big expectation from the previous one you're redoing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's complete ass.
Well,
Like Rob Zombie's Halloween,
Yeah.
I fucking loved.
really?
I did, dude. I thought the take of watching Michael grow up was so interesting, and watching how fucked up of a kid he was.
It was like half the movie.
I know, but like it makes you think, okay, they didn't see any of this shit, and now he's a fucking killer and wants to kill his whole family.
Yeah.
It's just wild. And I like that take. Now the second one kind of stretched a little
Standard
bit. But,
Michael Myers.
Yeah. But the first one, I did like his take on it. And
get that.
it was bloody as fuck. So that was always fun.
Yeah, that's for sure. But so, I mean, remember the 2013 like remakes of like, I don't know, what was it, 2010 to like
2010, I
2015?
believe, was, or was it 2011?
No, I'm just saying like that whole period, like that 5-year period where
they
had,
did Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, the Texas Chainsaw, the Evil Dead, you know, all that.
I think the new Texas Chainsaw was 2013, and that one was so good.
The one with Alexandra Daddario
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
We actually like that one here. I know it's not a fan favorite, but we do like that one. I think the new one on Netflix was absolute dog shit.
It was.
I thought it was so bad. Like, okay, the scene on the bus was pretty cool.
There was a lot of death.
Oh
there.
yeah, bad, absolute mobbed. That was awesome. But I just thought, you know, it was trying to be super political.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think whatever side you're on, whatever you believe, a Texas Chainsaw movie is not the place to have a political discussion.
I agree.
But that's just me. I don't know.
People are there to watch them murder.
Yeah.
Like you want to see the dude killed. Like that's a whole part of the slasher movie.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you can make us care about the characters and stuff, cool. But I didn't give a shit about any one of those kids.
No, they didn't make you feel like they were genuine or they mattered like at all.
Yeah.
And you were kind of rooting for them to die.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that was pretty funny was it was on the bus scene and that guy, they're all pulling out their phones and he's like, "You're going to get canceled, bro." Like, and it just gets mobbed. Like, that's such a fucking stupid
Back
line.
when cancel culture was a thing.
I mean, hey, man, that's I don't know, what a line, though.
Someone wrote it.
Yeah. I did like, and this is going to be a hot take. I did kind of enjoy the Michael Bay Friday the 13th. I do. I actually like that movie a lot. I like how the Jason in that is super like, he runs at you. We don't usually see Jason Voorhees running at your ass.
It's just a brisk walk.
Yeah, or he'll like teleport. He'll be in one spot like across the lake, and the next thing you know, he's right there. But yeah, I think that one was sweet. And also, we got to see 2 friend groups get absolutely mauled. Because remember, the first like 30 minutes of that, you're following another friend group.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes, and you're like, wait a minute, that was just the beginning. What the hell? Also, fun fact about that movie. So it's Michael Bay, right? And he directed Transformers.
Yep.
So the main guy, Trent or whatever his name is, the blonde dude that, he's kind of an asshole. He's like the nice girl's like boyfriend.
Yep.
Yeah. So that guy played Megan Fox's boyfriend before Shia LaBeouf or whatever in the first Transformers movie with the same name. So it's kind of like a fan theory.
Cast it as a douchebag.
Well, yeah, but with the same name, the same like personality, same everything. And so what people think is like Jason Voorhees exists in the Transformers universe because of that one guy. Like he plays the same character, and so it's kind of cool. It's like imagine you're freaking out. You got
so Megan Fox's ex-boyfriend got brutally murdered at a cabin.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's kind of cool if you do go back and watch the first Transformers, and that guy is like, okay, yeah, whatever, and he leaves. You can look at him and just be like, yeah, you're about to get fucked up. Jason Voorhees about to get your ass, bro.
Yeah, that movie's good.
Yeah. What do you think about the 13 or the what was it, 2013 or 2012? One of those remakes, the Nightmare on Elm Street one.
Dude, I liked it.
Really?
I did think like they did a good job with the CGI of the time. And
at the time,
yeah. And I thought that the story was pretty solid. They made him look a little more scary.
Yeah.
And cryptic than he does in the older ones.
Uh-huh.
But I thought the acting was better in the old ones than it was in the new ones.
That says something.
I don't know, but like it's a fun movie to watch. I'll casually watch it here and there because like I do like the movie.
Yeah, the kills are pretty good in that one, I think too. But I gotta say, I mean, I get what you're saying. I do like the 80s, like the first one.
It's good.
I like that one the best, I think. Sure, I mean the effects are dated as fuck, but I mean I still watch Star Wars religiously. I think
Star Wars just miniatures?
Yeah, and they've also done a lot more. Like they have different special editions like throughout the years that update some of the the visual effects that they can do. So, that's pretty cool. I will say, so some of those movies are kind of mid, and some of them are not good. But the best goddamn movie from that time was the Evil Dead remake, 2013, or remake, sequel, whatever you want to call it, requel. Shout out Scream. Yeah, I think the 2013 Evil Dead that's probably one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
You know that main character that plays in that?
Yeah,
the main girl,
in Shameless.
Yeah. She's in like a couple seasons of Shameless.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
kind of wild. Though I connected those dots. I was like, wait a second, I know you.
Yeah,
she's actually a really good actress. Really good,
dude. I think that because so many horror movies we see, you know, the kids are, you know, they're at the cabin and they're like, bro, don't be such a pussy. Like, you know, oh, it's a scary sound. Like, let's go check it out or whatever. You know, they gave them a reason for like staying there. Like, she gets possessed, but they're there for the retreat of like, you know, she needs to get
sobriety.
off. Yeah, she needs to get off drugs. So she starts freaking out and seeing shit, and they're just like, yo, you gotta chill out. Like, she's going cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives them a reason to like.
Yeah, they think she's in withdrawal when she's not.
Exactly. So that gives them a reason to stay, which I think is pretty smart.
Yeah, very good writing.
Also, when he does try to leave, or when they try to leave, the road is washed out because there's a big rainstorm and stuff. And like, you know, it's good enough. It's good enough writing. But I think the idea of staying because of her sobriety and like how she's going cold turkey and she's losing her shit, it's like that's fucking good. Also, that movie with their kills, oh my god, dude, when the one guy walks into the shower or the bathroom and his girlfriend's just fucking sawing her like face off.
Oh dude, that is a gnarly scene.
Yeah, those effects still hold up today, I would say.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like about that movie was the dude that opened the book.
The shaggy looking motherfucker?
Yeah, he just was like keeping it to himself, knowing that he was doing all this. And I just was like, if he was like a homie, why would he not be telling them all this shit?
Well, he kind of wasn't a homie. He was kind of a dick the whole time.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, he was.
Why wouldn't you say anything, though?
Yeah, that's true.
Why wouldn't you say anything? That was like the only part of the story I didn't like, but everything else was so good. Dude, the chainsaw scene at the end.
Oh my god!
Holy
when she
fuck.
like gets her arm like ripped off because of the car or whatever rolls over on it. She pulls it off, and then she sticks her like nub into the chainsaw and fucking just. I love that shit, dude. Yeah, that was a fun movie for sure. But Evil Dead Rise, though. What'd you think of that one?
Which one had more blood?
I think they matched it.
Because I know
they
that
were pretty close.
Wasn't it the elevator scene that was fucking crazy?
Yeah,
and
I think they
Rise?
matched like the record that Evil Dead had, but then Evil Dead in 2013, if you didn't know, the 2013 Evil Dead had the record for the most amount of like fake blood or whatever used in
Until It, right?
Until It Chapter 2.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene in that one which Jessica Chastain's character, she's in
bathroom
a
scene,
bathroom
right?
stall.
Yep.
Yeah. She almost drowned during that.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So she said it was
Jesus.
super hard.
Can you sign this consent form? You might drown.
No, that shit was crazy for sure. But yeah, Evil Dead Rise, I can't remember if they matched 2013's or if they matched its, but I don't think they broke it. But I know, I mean, shit, either way, they used a fuck ton of blood in that.
Yeah, they did.
That was, I don't know. I love the Evil Dead franchise. You know this. I fucking love them. And they're coming out with like 3
Well,
more.
I know it. They might not know it.
I love Evil Dead. The old ones, the new ones, any one of them. I love it. Even Army of Darkness, that cheesy ass movie. I loved that one. Ash Williams, the GOAT, bro.
Did you like the spinoff show?
You know what's crazy? As much as I'm sitting here ranting about it, I haven't seen Ash Williams versus the Dead.
You have it?
Or Ash versus the Dead or whatever. I haven't seen it.
I think it's called Ash versus the Evil Dead. But
Ash versus the Evil Dead, yeah.
It's actually a pretty good show.
I know. I haven't seen it. Was it on Netflix?
It was for a while.
Maybe that was the time I didn't have Netflix. But
Damn.
yeah, no, I have been making an effort to try to watch it, but I know.
You're missing out on a lot of good shit.
I know. But I do think, God, you know I love Resident Evil too. You know, the Resident Evil video games. And I am so fucking pissed that we can't find, like, why can't we make a good Resident Evil movie? Why not? Why is it so hard to make? So I think that's why I like Evil Dead so much, is because, honest to God, Evil Dead feels like the closest I'm ever going to get to a good Resident Evil game or movie. I do.
Yeah, the way they do the demons is really good.
The Deadites, yeah, dude. And then the kills are awesome. And then there's always like a final boss, which is awesome. You know, the 2013 had the Abomination or whatever. It was the thing that came out of the ground and
the like so many head thing.
No, that was Evil Dead Rise.
Oh, okay,
and that was when they all like morphed together.
Yeah,
that were like crawling around and shit.
Gnarly.
Dude, awesome. Fucking awesome. Yeah, I love that shit, man. Evil Dead. What do you think about the the new Halloween trilogy? I'm sorry. Let me break this. Let me cut this up because each movie is so vastly different. The 2018 one. What do you think of it?
Very good.
I agree.
Well done. Well shot. They gave Michael a purpose.
Yep.
And honestly, Jamie Lee Curtis in it was phenomenal.
Awesome.
Like, it couldn't have been a better sequel to what happened in the first movie trilogy or whatever it was.
Dude, yeah.
I don't know. They made so many back then.
Yeah, and so the point of the 2018 one was that they
it was after
canonized like Halloween 2 through all of them. Like, it literally was supposed to just be the 1978 one or whatever.
And then I thought H2O as well.
No.
Really?
It's just like the 1971 or whatever, and then it's Halloween 2018. Yeah.
Because the H2O one follows 20 years later from the 78 one.
But they decanonized that.
Just said, fuck it.
Yeah, they
I'm
said,
throwing
fuck
it away.
Yeah. So the whole, all of those movies were just, that was over. So, yeah, I loved that idea. And, yeah, 2018 was good.
All right, what about the second?
Halloween Kills, I'm mid on.
It's got a good 5.3 from me.
I liked the kills.
Well, he kills a lot of people in that one.
I was talking to my buddy at work, and he was laughing too because I told him that I actually liked the kill, and he was like, "That was such a dumb fucking kill." But I was like, it made me audibly go, "Oh shit!" In the theater. It was when the one girl who was dressed as a nurse, when Michael's in the car like killing her boyfriend, and she comes up with the gun. And Michael fucking kicks the door and the gun turns back and like shoots her in the face. And I was like, oh shit. That was such a crazy kill. But yeah, I think kill wise, that one was good. But story wise and everything else wise, I wasn't a fan. They tried to like, I don't know, talk about mental health with the one like psycho. I don't know. The one, the patient in the mental hospital, and he like killed himself and stuff. Like, that was fucked up. But I don't know, like these horror movies, man, they try to take it to a deeper meaning. It's like, it's not that serious.
And then what was crazy was the third in the series, The End.
Yeah,
I honestly didn't really understand why they even had the dude in there to begin with.
I don't know.
Because, like, okay, you might have thought, oh, he's gonna. Spoiler warning, actually, if you haven't seen the movie.
Wait. Spoilers.
If you haven't seen the movie, in it, there's this kid that starts dating the daughter or granddaughter.
Yeah.
I think it's the
Yeah, she's like
granddaughter.
the new final girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the final girl. And he starts dating her, and he's actually meets up with Michael and starts like becoming him. And then you're like, oh, he might be the next in the chain, because you don't really see Michael a lot because he's hiding out in a fucking like sewer.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Michael just fucking snaps his neck out of fucking nowhere. And you're just like, well, that was the end of that guy.
Yeah.
He had no other plot in the movie.
They had like a whole love story and shit. It felt very Netflixy. You know what I mean?
I was like, what the fuck? You just killed him off just instantly.
Yeah. The thing that sucks about that movie is that they hyped it up so much to be about the final showdown between Michael and Laurie. And we got that, but for about 5 minutes of the entire movie.
At the end.
It's like that movie was not about those two, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think that Halloween Ends, like the whole story with that kid and stuff, would have been a good, I guess, like
open
gateway
door,
and into like a reboot.
I agree.
Yeah, like you create a new Michael Myers who's like obsessed with the other Michael, and then you give him like a love story with the girl, and then it's like he has this whole conflicted like, and you're that like I'd watch that shit, but I was expecting to watch Michael versus Laurie for like 2 hours. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, ups and downs of like they both getting stabbed, shot, whatever, and they both keep fighting until the last 30 seconds of the movie.
Oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for, but I didn't get it.
Yeah,
We did see that
weird take.
That kid fall down the stairs though at the beginning.
Dude, the intro scene. Holy fuck.
That was crazy.
Holy fuck.
That kid got fucking stomped.
Oh man. Yeah, that movie. A lot of good kills. A lot of good kills. Story was just all over the place for me.
Yeah.
So if I had to rate it, probably a good 6, 9.
So would you rate like the whole trilogy? Like all the movies as a trilogy?
7, 4.
You'd rate them as a 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a 6.
Because honestly, the 2018 one was that good.
I thought it was good too. I thought it was really good. I did. And that was a movie that dealt with like the psychology and stuff. And I thought like the tone of the movie stayed the same throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Kills kind of felt like,
Just felt forced.
yeah, it was like, okay, we have to have a second one. You know, let's try to, make the town go against him or something. And then I did always like the idea of Michael being like a regular human,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just like that evil that he like, was just always in the Michael Myers like mindset,
If he was that human, I don't know if he would be able to take that many bullets.
Exactly. The ending of Kills when he got like shot in the head and like
That
stabbed and all that. I
was that
like,
in
oh.
the scene where he was surrounded by the town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The town cornered him and they got him and then they finally just beat the shit out of him, killed him. And then he gets up and just kills them all. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't know Michael was Jason, but for sure. Like, if I was watching
He's
Friday
got
the
supernatural
13th,
powers.
exactly. If I was watching Friday the 13th, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, that's Jason. He ain't dead yet. But Michael, it's like, I've always just kind of believed, Michael was a human.
That's because he grew up in a family as a human.
Yeah, he was a kid.
Yeah.
We saw him as a kid. Like, I know Jason was a kid and stuff, but he died. Like,
He died and
Michael
then
didn't
come
die.
back.
Yeah. Like, how did Michael get those supernatural abilities,
Yeah, just fucking Iron Man out here. Fucking doesn't die.
Literally. Yeah. I don't know, man. That shit's crazy. All right, I want to talk about some real shitty horror movies, though. What's like the shittiest horror movie that you've seen lately? Other than Night Swim. I'm dogging that movie so bad.
The First Omen. That movie was so bad. It was a wannabe immaculate. Or is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Immaculate?
with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. It was a wannabe that, dude. It was just terrible.
Okay.
I know you didn't even watch the movie.
No, I didn't. But
Cal left the theater.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's just like, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
And just goes, I'm going to start writing podcast episodes.
Yeah, I did. I literally started working on this episode while he was in The First Omen. Yeah.
That movie it just wasn't good.
No, it I mean, from what I saw, I was just like, it did feel like just immaculate. But then again, we do have to think about what if The First Omen came out before Immaculate? Would we be thinking Immaculate sucked?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Right?
That's a very good question.
It sucks that both of those movies came out at literally like the same time,
I know.
But
Yeah, hard to decide. In hindsight's 2020 there, right?
yeah.
You're just not going to know because you watched them in the order you did.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, dude. It just felt so forceful on like trying to resurrect Jesus and Satan.
Yeah.
And it just made no sense in terms of the whole story. Like I know it plays into the original,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. It was just all over the place for me, and it wasn't scary. The plot was boring. I was very bored during the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it takes like 3/4 of the movie to get to the even remote good stuff of it.
Yeah.
And that's just too long. I don't mind slow builds, but when you don't have anything going on in the movie,
Yeah.
it makes it not fun to watch at all.
No, I get that. But I don't know. Immaculate. I mean, I fucking loved that movie. I did.
Mhm.
I loved Immaculate. I think I gained a new appreciation for Sydney Sweeney because up until that point, I always saw her as kind of like the Beverly Hills, like, like she only plays like, dramatic like teens or something, or maybe a love story or something like that. But
Yep.
And I kind of had that when she first got to Rome or Italy or wherever it was. I mean, Rome is Italy, but same thing. You know what I mean? Wherever she was. And she got to the place and she started talking to him and she's doing her same, like, Sydney Sweeney, and I was like, we'll see how this goes. But dude, that end scene though. Spoiler. So the whole point of the movie is that they think she's the new Mother Mary or whatever, right? They think, she gets pregnant, and they find out through examination, like, oh, she's never, she's still a virgin, or the Virgin Mary, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, oh my God, like, you're a miracle and all this kind of stuff. And she does a bunch of like, she's like, this is kind of freaky. She starts seeing the people with like the nuns with like the red like masks over their face and shit. And they cut off her friend's like tongue and stuff. And she's like, okay, I got to figure out what the hell this is. And they found a nail that was nailed into Jesus's hand. And they're like, we still have DNA on this. And so they used that. Like, one of the priests was a scientist, and they used that to impregnate her, like, so that they're trying to recreate Jesus. And it's like, what the fuck? That whole plot was so crazy. So we got a pregnant Sydney Sweeney going around fucking mobbing these people, these, priests and nuns that have like wronged her. And then at the end of the movie, like, she has the baby and she just screams into the camera for like 3 straight minutes. And that was some fucking good acting.
Dude, there was a second there where I thought she was going to be the new Scream Queen for us.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if anyone can beat Mia.
Nobody can top Mia. Our Scream Queen on this podcast is fucking Mia Goth.
God, I love her, dude. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
So later in the season, we're going to be talking about Mia and her big roles in X, Pearl, and Maxine. And
don't forget
that's
Infinity Pool either. She
well,
was
we can talk about that on this. I'm just saying later we're going to be talking about those movies in depth.
Yeah.
But dude, Infinity Pool, as you bring it up, what a fucking movie, dude.
It was good.
That movie was just so out there in terms of ideas. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Spoiler incoming again.
Spoiler.
Yeah, the fact that the dude wrote it and was like, yeah, let's clone these people and make the viewer determine whether or not we killed them off early, later, at the end, never.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't know. Who's the main actor?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Very, very good.
Well, he was in The Northman.
Yes, also a great movie.
The Northman is fucking awesome.
The kills in that movie are crazy too. But no, yeah, that movie, dude, Mia Goth plays a really crazy girl.
Yeah, as she does.
Yeah, but this is like borderline psychotic shit.
And I still love it. I fucking love her, dude.
Dude, that one scene at the end where she's like
sucking
basically
on her boobie.
Yeah. I don't know how that played a role in it, but
I don't know how else to say that. I mean, he was 100%. Yeah, just some random shot of her or him just like sucking on her boob. And it's just like, oh,
it's wild.
Cool. That's the end of the movie, I guess.
No, but the whole story makes you think and just kind of veer into the wonderment of what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, if I was put in that situation, committed a crime, would I obviously would probably choose to create a clone of myself too, because I don't want to die. But
yeah, but I think also having that technology, like the point of the movie is like, if you don't have consequences, like
you could just do whatever
fucking
you can do whatever you want.
There'd be so much chaos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like people would just, I mean, you'd be killing each other. You'd be, doing all the horrible.
It'd be
horrible
the purge
crimes.
every night.
Yeah, literally. Literally, dude. So yeah, it was a very thought-provoking movie for sure, but I don't know, man.
I would put that up there in my top though.
Yeah.
Like my top 10.
I think the shittiest horror movie that I've seen, other than Night Swim.
You keep coming back to that one.
Because I fucking hate it, man. I fucking hate Night Swim. Oh God. It was just so, and I love the main actor, Wyatt Russell, man. That's that douchey Captain America.
He's also in Black Mirror.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in the video game episode. very horror-esque
Which
as
one?
well. The video game.
The
He
one
like
where
goes in video game tests to get money, and they
okay.
like
So
hook him
not
up. They like hook him up to
Uh-huh.
this thing, and all of a sudden he starts seeing all this virtual reality shit, and he's like, "Oh fuck, the gopher's kind of alive and shit."
oh.
And then all of a sudden they're like, "Wow, you passed the test," and they take him to the next phase of it, and it becomes more real and more real and more real, and throughout that hour episode, it gets so real that he like freaks out because he sees his mom, and it all leads back to his phone vibrating, and it's his mom calling, and then he dies because of the cell phone, what do you call it? The cell phone waves.
Like the radiation?
Yeah,
and shit?
from the cell phone causes the machine to malfunction,
Oh, gotcha.
and causes him to die.
Oh. Shit, I don't think I've seen that one.
Dude, you should watch it. It's one of the best episodes I've ever seen from Black Mirror.
The one Black Mirror episode that I saw with the video games or whatever was that one with the other guy from Captain America, the new Captain America, Anthony Mackie, and his buddy, and they have like they start like banging in the video game. Have you seen that? They
Banging?
yeah, they're like fucking each other. It's super weird.
No,
They
I
have,
haven't
like,
seen that.
They have like this new game, like his buddy got him this new game that he can like, just chill out and like you play the game in your head and you can like connect to like other players like in the game.
Okay.
It's kind of a cool concept. But they play like a Mortal Kombat game, and when they're in the game, they're just like they fight and then they fuck. And then it becomes like an affair. Like it literally just becomes like a love affair. Like their wives don't know and stuff like that. And then like one of them gets jealous. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, that was a weird. I don't know if I could play like Mortal Kombat like connected to other people. I don't think I would. Just personally, I don't think I would.
You don't want to get that sexual tension going?
Nah, man, nah. I love Katana and even Melina, but I wouldn't go that far. I don't think.
Not even Megan Fox's character?
No, because then not Natara. But I think because then in the back of your head, you're like, this is still my boy. Like, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not doing that. Yeah, man, shit. I don't know. I just wish more horror movies would like be actually scary, and I wish they would do kind of what Longlegs has done, where is it raining? It is. It's totally raining.
Yeah, it's loud.
Spooky.
Right? The right vibe.
Yeah, it is. But I think, it's just.
It's fucking loud.
Yeah, it is loud. I can hear it through this shit. That's crazy. But I think, there's just.
They're too cookie cutter.
Yeah, they're cookie cutter. They have the same bullshit music, the same bullshit jump scares. They're not they're too afraid to take it too far. And that's just, I think it sucks that they're doing that.
Very predictable.
Yeah, predictable. The acting is always, subpar. Even if they have good actors, like they try their best, but the script is just not helping them out at all. I think one franchise that started really strong and then kind of like just flopped was Insidious.
I would agree.
I remember seeing the first Insidious movie with my dad. And I was a kid and I was horrified. That Darth Maul looking motherfucker.
Dude, one of the scariest PG-13 movies I think I've ever seen.
Insidious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Insidious 2 was
Yeah,
just
the
as
Darth
good.
Maul goat looking guy.
Yeah, dude, he was freaky as hell. And then Insidious 2 was what I thought Insidious 2 was good. I thought it was just as good.
Mhm.
That was when they started dealing with the dad and the one guy, something Crane was the name of the serial killer or whatever, and he dressed up as like he's in like a black like wedding dress and stuff, and it was freaky, man. It was freaky as shit. And the violins that they had in that movie, way better than any violin music that we usually, that like, it's like, oh shit, okay, that's loud.
We also had the tiptoe music, which was creepy.
Yeah, they freaked out a lot of people with the Tiny Tim song, that's for sure.
That dude blew up from that.
Well, unfortunately, he's dead.
Yeah.
He died a while back, but R.I.P. Tiny Tim.
You know what movie went the opposite direction of the Insidious series? I would say would be The Conjuring.
How so?
Because Conjuring 1, very good.
Yep.
The Conjuring 2, very good.
I
Like
agree.
they created probably one of the scariest villains in horror that I've seen.
The Nun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nun.
And we'll get to the Nun here in a minute, but at least starting off like Conjuring 2, really good. Like that the Nun was scary as shit.
Yeah.
And then the Conjuring 3 took a whole little twist and
It
went
was culty.
yeah, very culty.
Yeah.
And I loved that as well.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And they just kind of ramped up for me and I was like, dude, this is actually a really good series.
Yeah.
Now there's spin-offs. The Nun, so much potential, all lost.
Yeah, so that was the movie I was gonna say is like my shittiest horror movie I think I've seen recently, like in recent memory. Out of all the shitty indie horror movies that we've watched, I mean, fuck it, man. I'll put Velocipaster above The Nun. I fucking hated The Nun. I
Check
went in
out
with such yeah. Shout out Velocipaster. Dude, I thought they had like I did have very high expectations just
Yeah.
because of what I saw in the and the acting from the girl was good, and they just showed her way too much. There's the same problem with that I have with Sinister 2. Bagul, fucking horrifying, right? And they that first scene that scene that you see him in the swimming pool, and he's like looking at him, and then like the fire, takes like it burns the film, so then you don't see him again for a little bit, and then you start seeing him pop up in the bro. Like what a way to use a villain, like a demon. And Sinister 2 is just like Bagul, 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 Bagul. Here you go, he's everywhere.
I really think they did a good job in The Nun with the story.
Yeah,
I actually thoroughly enjoyed the story from 1 to 2. And how everything transferred from one place to another. I thought that was great.
yeah, it was the same girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same girl. Actually, same guy, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the way the storyline worked was great. But you're right. They just show way too much of the villain. And at that point, you're like, I've seen her. She's on screen 90% of the time. How can I be scared of her?
Yeah, I think the second one did a better job with that. But then they replaced it with like that fucking goat thing.
Yeah, that
you remember
side
that?
story was
Yeah.
weird.
They had like a bunch of different. I mean, sure, The Conjuring always has different demons, right? Like they always have. I mean, the Conjuring 2 had the Crooked Man. They had, and Annabelle.
Right.
Annabelle has like the one Annabelle demon, but it always has like a couple others, which I like. I like the different demons. Like, I mean, that's cool. But a giant fucking goat thing just running down the stairs. I was sitting there and I was like, all right, for sure. Like,
What
okay,
is this, The Witch?
it might be a good, like, it might be good on paper, but the execution, like, I think, I don't know, they write it and then the studio's like, okay, yeah, cool, giant goat. And then they're like, we don't have the budget for this.
So they go, we just gotta fill this in, and like we can't pay anybody else to do our CGI.
Yeah, they're just like, let's just darken the scene like super dark.
Throw a
so
guy in a
that
goat costume.
Yeah, so you really can't tell. Like you kind of just see, and you're like, and then they probably were seeing it, and they're like, okay, this didn't look that good, but fuck it, whatever, we're getting paid.
Fuck it, Colin Peikel.
Fuck it, Colin Peikel. Fuck you, Peikel. That's a Rick and Morty reference. Yeah. I don't know. The Nun, I thought it was such shit. And I like the setting too. I like all the okay, it's weird because I
The
don't
European
like,
stuff is cool.
yeah, I don't like possession movies and stuff. I really don't. I'm not a fan. I think it's the same shit every time. At least slasher movies, like, yeah, you can say it's the same thing, but they can get creative in the kills. And I'm a big fan of. This is going to sound so bad, but I'm a big fan of kills. I like seeing people on screen just get fucked up. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, the possession shit, and they always make like no, I'm sorry. I can't say The Nun anymore because it just popped into my head. The new Exorcist movie. Oh my God. I forgot about it. That's how bad it was. Just
it was
my
bad.
brain was like,
bad.
nope.
And we even could tell from the trailer that it was bad.
Yeah.
But we were convinced by my brother to go see it. He's like, just give it a shot.
Yeah, thanks,
Give it
Josh.
a try. Just give it a try. And we're like, we don't
fuck
want
it.
to.
We're A-list members. We can just see it for free.
The trailer was just so bad.
Yeah.
And it didn't live up to the expectation at all.
No, I think it did live up to the expectation, our expectations, that it was going to be
that's
dog
true.
shit, because it was.
Not the expectation of the original, though.
No, of course not. I mean, dude, I kept saying it
This is another...
every time we saw the fucking trailer. That one, the little girl walking through the aisle going, the body and the blood, the body and the blood, the body and the blood, the body and I made that like a meme for my friends for like, what, a fucking month until the movie came out. And then sure enough, when that scene came on in the trailer, I was like, okay, or in the movie, I was like, okay, you know, maybe we'll see. We'll see if they change anything or make it better.
They didn't.
They didn't. I was laughing. When I laugh in a horror, like I get drawn into a movie and I don't, you know, if it's laughably bad, I'm still just like, okay, like, you know, I'm still watching the movie, whatever. I laughed.
Yeah, that's one of those movies that is, once again, sounds probably really good on paper.
Yeah, they're like, oh, let's have a little girl walk through the thing and just start freaking everybody out, saying like, oh, the body and the blood, like the body and the blood of Christ.
Not just that, just the whole movie in general.
Yeah,
they're like, what if the fucking demon is two people?
Yeah,
and they're like, oh shit, mind blown.
Hey, I'll give them that. That was a decent idea.
No, it was,
you know,
but
and then
poorly
like their
executed,
heartbeats like in sync and shit, and I was like, oh,
poorly executed though.
Yeah, that was so bad.
And just the acting wasn't that great.
The main guy and the girl, they were good.
Yes.
The fucking white family, I think they were supposed to be bad. They were ass, man. And I'm sorry to that little girl, but she was not good either. I mean, maybe it's just me and the body and the blood just stuck in my head and I couldn't think of anything else, but that's just...
Yeah, I can't.
That wasn't it.
I honestly had forgotten about that movie too. That's crazy.
It's out of our head.
Yeah,
because it was that bad. Yeah. Fuck, man.
Dude, I know this isn't really a bad movie, but a bad experience about watching a movie. You remember the time when we watched
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to tell that story? Because holy fuck, that was terrible.
Okay, so Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Wait, let me preface this with, we never walk out of a theater.
Yeah.
We never do.
That one and The First Omen were the ones, the only movies I think I've ever walked out of. I mean, I stayed for Fast and Furious 9.
Never seen it.
Fuck, man. You don't. They go in space and shit. And I don't know. If you like those movies, you know, cheers to you, but.
I hope our viewers don't like those types of movies. Sorry, guys.
So.
You are cut off.
FNAF. It was I enjoyed it. I like Josh Hutcherson.
Oh, I actually think he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, I like Matthew Lillard. You know, he played the bad guy in... Oh, wait. Spoilers. He played the bad guy in that one.
What else is he from?
Dude, he was Stu Macher in the first Scream movie.
Yes.
My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. Yeah. Shout out Scream. Anyway, yeah, so we get in the theater, and it's unfortunate. It was opening day, too.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe that we got, like... Our movie theater is pretty nice. We usually get the Dolby Cinema theater. It's like the best viewing experience that you can probably have. I mean, the sound system is awesome. Well, this was not it. We walk into the theater and it was like probably four rows maybe of seats. Super tiny theater and
packed with kids.
Yeah, packed with kids,
which we did expect because of the movie itself.
FNAF, yeah, but it was like. They were all just talking and shit, and so we sit down. First thing, we sit down, and we're like, okay, like this isn't gonna be the best viewing experience, whatever. And Josh, your brother, my good friend, it's me.
Oh, this is the lady?
Yeah, it's me, and then Jake, and then Josh is next to him. And, you know, we're in the reclining seat, so Josh has his feet up, and the movie like kind of starts like it's
the
right
lights
at the
dimmed.
beginning. Yeah,
it's really dark.
It's already dark in the theater, and this kid walks in and goes right in between us, like just walks through, and
no problem.
As you do, the mom is like having a hard time following her kid, so the kid goes over and sits down like next to Josh, and the mom walks in and is like kind of looking at us, and I'm like. You know, she's just staring at us.
Can you
she's
please
like
keep moving?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, just keep going. She thought Josh was her kid. So she like grabs his leg, like all like just like grazes it, and then he's like pulls it
audibly
back.
goes, "What the fuck?"
Theater quiet. He just, what the fuck? And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm sure there's an explanation, but that was so funny to see.
And that wasn't she didn't finish. She said, "Oh, sorry, I'm trying to find my child."
Yeah.
And continued to just slowly walk by
Yeah.
and graze his leg.
Yep. She definitely kept it there for a minute, and then she found her kid, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Oh man, so that's how that started. Then I was sitting next to a guy who kept going, "Oh my God, there's Bonnie. Oh, there's Chica." Like he started calling, and I was just like, "Okay, I get it. There's some hype, but I'm a fucking Venom stan. Like I love Venom, and when he pops up, I'm not like, oh my God, there's Venom. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Venom. I love it. And there's other people here, and he kept.
I think it's okay if the whole theater cheers.
Yeah, like Endgame.
Yeah,
dude, I was fucking on my. I was like, let's fucking go, like Avengers Assemble. And I was, oh man, I was stoked. But that was like an event, right? I guess I can't take that away from him, right? FNAF could be an event to him, but he was also talking out loud like this, literally like this. It wasn't like, oh yeah, look, there's Bonnie, there's Chica. And he was like, oh my God, it's Bonnie and Chica. Like, okay. And then he was sitting next to his mom, and his mom started asking him questions, like out loud. And he's like, yeah, so in the game, you're supposed to do this and that and this and that. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like he's just talking. Like he's just talking. Well, it's like he's watching a movie like at home. Like just, and I don't know. I guess maybe he caught me in a bad mood or something, but I was like, dude, oh my God.
It didn't stop though.
Never stopped. And then he had a beer with him. AMC does beer and stuff. This guy drinks his beer and just like out loud, fucking that shit smelled. And I was like, he did it 3 times. On the 3rd time, I go, dude, come on, man. Like, fucking look the other way or something. I don't know if he said anything back, but then I literally look over at Josh, and Josh looks at me, and then fucking, like, because all the kids are, like, shouting and screaming and all this kind of stuff. And I honest to God, felt like we were at Chuck E. Cheese, which is kind of funny because FNAF is, like, a play on Chuck E. Cheese, right? But I felt like we were at fucking Chuck E. Cheese. And so Jake and I looked at each other, and I was like, I leaned over, and I was like, this also is on Peacock today. I was like, let's go home and finish this movie. And he was like, okay, let's go. And we just got up and left.
Yeah.
And we watched the rest of it at home, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually, I think, helped us like the movie.
I would agree.
Better as well. Because had we have finished the movie there, I think we would have had a tainted experience on it and probably not as liked it as much.
Yeah. I think so too. God damn, man. Fucking viewing experiences.
They will take you right out of it.
Yes, they will.
That's a fact.
Yes, they will. We just went to go see, I think I told you this, but we went to go see Monkey Man, and me and my dad and my mom. And it was, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I liked the actor. He was good. Pretty fucking cool action scenes too. The ending. I mean, hella shaky cam, but anyway, regardless, there were this couple that was like, 3 seats away from us, and they were talking so loud through the trailers are pretty loud. You could hear them talking like through the trailers, like the guy especially. There's a lot of bass in his voice, and he was just like, yeah, oh my God. And it was so funny because my mom looks over at me and she's like, okay, if these guys keep talking like when the movie starts, like I'm gonna say something. And I was like, okay, yeah, me too. Well, I don't know. We like quiet in movies because that's how they're supposed to be enjoyed, right? In my opinion,
you feel part of the experience.
Yeah, you're supposed to be drawn in, and if you don't care, like, and you talk during a movie, like, just know, like, that's not how it's supposed to be viewed,
and you're ruining the experience for others.
The experience for other people. Yeah. So this guy's just like yapping, and I look over at him like as soon as the movie starts. Me and my dad, and fucking, we were just like, hey, like, that's enough. And the guy was like, he stopped talking. He did. So I think I've had to do that like 3 times in my life. Fuck, man.
Just be respectful at a theater.
Yeah. Otherwise, just wait for it to come out on, DVD or whatever.
Or streaming. Whatever.
Streaming, and then just watch it.
They're pretty quick with those nowadays.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Shit.
So.
The new Doom movie's coming out on Max, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. How are we doing on time?
I don't know. I can't see.
It says 2:20.
What
were we at?
Dude, I still can't read that.
It says an hour and 5 minutes.
Damn. Well, let's just roll a little bit longer, and
right.
we'll cut this, and then roll the outro, and then go
Okay.
from there. But I don't know. We've talked a lot about bad experiences and bad movies, but I think I have that answer for you now.
What?
My favorite movie, my favorite horror movie.
Oh shit!
Remember back the last episode, I said, "Let me think on it." Well, I've thought on it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Are you ready?
Does it talk to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it.
Talk to me is, dude, one of my favorites. It is my top favorite.
Talk to me.
Nah, dude, that movie's it's shot so well on such a small budget. The creators,
Danny and Michael.
Raka, shout out.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking awesome.
Yep, been watching you since I was a kid, actually. Well, not a kid, but like a teen. Yeah. On your YouTube. Halo versus fucking, what was it? Halo versus Lord of the Rings, I think it was. There was Star Wars versus Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny.
No chicken.
What? Oh, yeah. Fucking the McDonald's shit is my favorite. I totally forgot.
So funny, dude. Oh, no, but yeah, they had a great idea and executed so well, dude. It just, honestly, that was the first time I think I've ever had my jaw to the floor in a movie theater.
Especially the opening scene.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler!
I don't think these are going to get old.
I know, this is going to be fun.
No, that fucking scene when that kid does the hand, and all of a sudden he starts going fucking crazy and smashing his face on the fucking desk. Holy shit.
I know.
That was just so unexpected.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, fuck.
Because something bad was going to happen.
You grew to like this kid a lot, though.
Man.
They made you like him so much. And you're just like, oh, fuck, he's getting just brutalized here. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. The whole story itself was just good. The acting was phenomenal.
Yeah. Even the scene with the, when she kills her dad.
Oh, bro. The alignment of the dad and the fake dad was crazy smart.
Good. Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, that was, God, man.
And it all tying all the way back to her suicide.
The mom's?
No. The main girl's suicide.
Oh, with the deer thing?
No,
or the kangaroo?
No. She kills herself, right?
At the end.
Yeah, right.
She,
and then she becomes the person in the hand.
Oh, yeah.
She
that
becomes
whole
I thought that was
scene was super sick.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh, let me do this.
She like sees it in the dark and like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then she's on the other side of it.
Yep. And they're like, holy shit.
Yep. They're doing another one too.
Yeah, Talk to Me Too.
Talk to Me.
They're also making another movie on the side as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope so, man.
They
worked hard at it.
They did, and they have been proven, at least with this one movie. I can't speak for all because I haven't seen all of their other things, but very good directing.
Yeah, you can tell that they want you to care about these characters and
the passion in their project.
Well, that's such a big deal, too, that a lot of horror movies didn't really do. You know, I guess for me growing up and stuff was like, you never gave a shit about the characters. I mean, half the time I want the fucking killer or the demon to kill everybody because... Right. A, I'll get a super cool kill out of it, hopefully. And
you love those.
Yeah, I do love those. And B, like, you just, the characters are so ass. I mean, that that dude from the Friday the 13th or whatever remake that we were talking about, the Michael Bay one, he's just like, this is going to be super, you know, I don't know how else to censor this. You know when he's hooking up with the one girl, like he's cheating on his girlfriend, and it's like a very, very explicit like sex scene, and he's saying shit like, "You got purple or perfect nipple placement or whatever." Like, he's like, "Your tits are so juicy, dude." I'm like,
chill out, man.
I was like, dude, God, I want Jason to just fuck you up, like
when you root for the killer,
literally. That's so. But I think, you know, Talk to Me and what's another good example? I mean, I did like Terrifier 2. I cared about Sienna, you know, the final girl. Scream, the new Scream movies. I can't believe we went this entire episode and didn't talk about fucking Scream. I'm pissed. We're gonna have a Scream episode.
We have one coming.
We're gonna have an entire Scream episode coming up because we're big.
We'll
fans
talk
of that
about
franchise.
all of the Screams.
Yes, and what else they're gonna do now that they're gone.
Melissa is gone.
Same with Jenna.
I know.
Fucking ass, man. Anyway,
and we forgot to talk deep dive fucking the movie we just watched with Melissa.
we just watched Abigail.
Holy shit.
Fucking loved it.
That movie was so funny.
It was so good.
well done.
Yeah, it was good, man. That was good.
But yeah, I do love when horror movies make you feel just so genuinely and care about the main character.
the core four, bro, in the new Scream movie.
Yeah.
I didn't want any of them to die. When the
And
one dude,
Spoilers.
what's his- oh, yeah. Spoiler. when the one dude, I think his name is Jackson. When he gets like he kisses Jenna Ortega
Mm-hmm.
at like her character, and then he fucking gets just like absolutely like slashed like 70 times, and I was like in the theater, I was like, no, oh no.
The
And
core
then
four
you
never dies.
Yeah, and then you see him at the end, and I was just like, yes, let's fucking go,
Core
dude.
four.
Core four. Yeah, man. That was yeah. When you care about characters, you truly do feel like that anxiety and that what you're supposed to feel during a horror movie.
Mhm.
Because so many times, they're just like, I think that's another thing too. Full circle moment. When we talk about music and jump scares and all that kind of stuff, Scream has all of that. They have like the same music. They
It's
have the
cliche
same-
as hell.
Yeah, it's cliche. I mean, it's meta, and we'll get into that
Yep.
obviously, but it is. It's cliche, right?
Mhm.
It's we've seen it 100 times. But the thing is, we fucking loved Scream 6 because you care about the characters and it builds that anxiety that you're supposed to feel during a horror movie.
1000%.
That's huge. And that is where we should end the episode.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been another great episode of The Supernaturals. You can get this podcast ad-free if you subscribe to our Patreon. Otherwise, you'll be getting the audio version whenever that comes out. I don't know. Whenever we decide. What?
Which one is it?
Oh, it's the blue one.
Okay, blue. That's what I was looking for.
So you'll
Don't
get the
know yet.
audio podcast. We haven't decided on a release date yet. And then the video podcast will come out probably a day or two later. So yeah, feel free to check us out. And thanks again for listening and watching.
We've been your hosts, Jake and Cal. We'll see you around the graveyard.
Thanks for listening to this chilling episode of The Supernaturals. For your protection, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And stay tuned for the next episode.